Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you today. I'm going to make just a quick video. I'm looking at everything online right now and I want to update you on what's going on. Oh my goodness, it's been the craziest 2 or 3 days. Let's see, here's an update. So we're doing fine. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a couple of days. The barn and the farm has been really busy. I've only been home a little while because we went to Knoxville yesterday and today as we were doing, let me scoot you by. We were doing medical appointments for my husband. So we've been dealing with some health issues and regular appointments and all that. So in the meantime, I've also been doing prom stuff for my oldest boy and just business stuff in general and a lot of shopping and for, food things that we need to add here. So doing some shopping while we're not, clearly we were multitasking and trying to get a lot done. Give you an update on the conference. The Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference is coming up in 3 weeks. Oh my gosh. So crazy. And it's wonderful. And the schedule is coming out this weekend, okay? I promised you that it was coming out last weekend. And it didn't get posted. Reason being is because I wanted to make sure everybody was, on. That wasn't the top priority. It was making sure people were healthy and doing good, and that they could, were they going to make the conference or not. I figured you all would, understand that we need to make sure everybody is, is doing good. So Wanda and Danny are coming to the Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference, and she's doing much better. So we're so happy to announce that. You probably have already heard, and so we can release the schedule. So I was just biding my time with that a little bit. Didn't want to jump either way, and didn't want to make any assumptions either way, because we all know what the first 3 letters of assumption is. Too bad most people on social media don't know that. So we're doing good. Like I said, we've had a lot of medical, we had to do some appointments this week, and that is very draining. I'm very tired. And so I'm going to make this video, and I've got videos to upload, and I'm taking care of the barn and farm and doing everything pretty much. My husband's either at work or, like I said, we've had to go to Knoxville. So I've had great farm help this week. Thank you for being up here and helping me out. So everything's taken care of. It's just very, very busy right now. And again, top priority is making sure that my husband is getting the medical attention and whatnot that he needs. We're on it. We can do it. So anyway, I've got some questions that I want to answer for my homesteading group. I promised you all a Q&A like 5 days ago, and I filmed it. And then I realized, but I didn't have as many questions. And I went back after we made the video. I went, wow, I have like 30 more questions now. So I'm going to answer some of that. But we're doing good. After I film this, like I said, I'm going to clean up the kitchen. My boy's already told me he'll shut down the barn for me. We've already got the goats up, and Mr. Peach is here sleeping. So we're doing, and the Buff Orpingtons are out, and I got a baby duck. Oh, the baby duck is right in my, hi, baby. Oh, okay, I won't talk to you. Okay, I won't talk to you. They're sleeping right here. So let's go over some of these questions, because I want to I'm going to hit them quick and answer them quick. So it's not to be short, or whatever. It is just, or curt, is that the word, curt? It's just to try to get in as many as possible. The most important, what do you think is the most important lesson your children have learned? Oh man, there is no way that they would have learned the idea of, and we're not perfect at it, people. I mean, come on, we have satellite TV. But we do have a very obvious wood pile that we do use for wood heat, right? Because that's what you got to have that. So there's a lot of skills that my children, just by default, are learning or picking up on or are working in because of this lifestyle. Okay, chopping wood, splitting wood, working with wood heat, that is major. I think that my children in this lifestyle are also seeing a lot more of consequence with action. Okay, if you don't pay attention to the cow when you're out there feeding her, and you get in the field when we're dropping in a new bale of hay, she may not mean to buck you and knock you across the field, but it's going to likely happen. Okay, so my children by default are seeing skill sets, experiencing skill sets, and are having to think more. They're not thinking, they're 3 boys, they're still kids, don't get me wrong here. But I'm just saying, I think that this is introducing to them the whole concept of having to watch, think, prep. Oh my gosh, I mean, and we're cooking more. Obviously, when we have to go run an errand, or we have to go to town, or you go to UT for stuff, that's different. But that doesn't happen every day. They're learning to garden. They're working with just so many more natural things that they did not have the opportunity to do in a neighborhood. I mean, no. I mean, it just is what it is. Did they have a hard time adapting? No. No, not at all. Not at all. See, we did this very slowly. We homeschooled first. We started gardening and got chickens, and we were already in Israeli Krav Maga. We were working with a lot of different skill sets, and even with or through 4-H. Then we homeschooled for a year, and all in this time we were looking for land. So my children were changing, shifting, and adjusting before we ever moved up here. So when we finally did, they were like, thank the Lord. They had already been, so, we had to reacclimate ourselves to a new area and, build new friendships, and we had to join a homeschool co-op for a time period, which helped introduce us to some great people and things like that. That's ever changing. But in terms of them adjusting, they really were adjusting and learning things and doing things long before we got here. And that made it easy. So we were transitioning before the transition, right? Okay, so what is the most important skill set someone needs? You need to be honest with yourself. I know you're like, what? That's so dorky. No, I am telling you right now, the most inhibiting thing that I see with homesteaders right now is they're not realistic. There are people that are more concerned about making others feel good as opposed to, or justifying their having to medicate their own ego as opposed to telling them the truth. I want you to tell me the truth. If I think if the person is good to me and is proven to be a good friend and is is truly doing the things that, is he tilling his garden? We got a tractor out, see? So if you trust a person and they've done it, and they go, babe doll, hun, are you sure you want to do that? Then listen to that person, okay? Listen to them and really think about what they're telling you. It's going to save you a lot of time, money, and heartache, because there's a payment in all of this, whether it's your time, whether it's your money, or both, whether it could be your health, your safety. So be honest with what you want to do, what you can do, how you can go about that. And a lot of that has to do with being honest with yourself in terms of where you live, how much land you live, what you're capable of doing, okay? I mean, I'm just going to tell you the truth. If you live in an apartment and you came to me and said, I want a Great Pyrenees, I'm going to probably tell you to consider a Boston Terrier because you live in an apartment. It's not a knock because you live in an apartment. It's basing it simply on the fact of what the animal can and cannot do and what it needs. Why do you think there's so many LGDs, Anatolian Shepherds, Great Pyrenees, particularly, that are, just run amok in all these shelters, and we have all these rescues? Is because somebody wasn't realistic with themselves in terms of what in terms of what they should have and what they can do. It's not a knock, it's just what it is. So be realistic and honest with yourself. Okay, homeschooling. What is the most important thing to keep in mind? You need to keep in mind that none of your children are the same. Okay? They're not all little genies in a bottle that are all going to be doing the exact same thing that you expect them to do and moving at the pace you think they're going to. Most of the time they can outpace you, and it's really an impressive thing if you take off a lot of the restrictions. And these kids can be very fast, and your kids a lot of times It's so wonderful because you can push them ahead in so many other areas, and then you can or let them really, you know, just fly on that, but yet you can also focus on the subject that might be more difficult for them and keep it at their pace so that they're constantly on the move with that. Every kid is different, okay? Every single one. If I was stuck on a deserted homestead, what item would I take with me? There's 5 ways to look at that. I gotta have a chicken because I want my eggs. But then I gotta have, well, I can cook on a rock. Well, you gotta have water and you gotta have fire. So you gotta be able to have a way to filter your water, however you wanna do that. If you don't have water, you're dead. And then you're going to have to be able to probably have fire, so you need to look at that. But I think you're trying to think of a fun thing. I mean, if I had to really go without everything but maybe one animal, I'm gonna have some chickens for different reasons. And I hope I get a broody in that because they're the ultimate, right? Okay, gardening for beginners, what to grow. Okay, you need to pick 5 items that you eat. Do not go out there and put down okra if you don't eat okra. And second of all, if you have a small garden, you're probably going to be disappointed with the amount of, certain crops you may not get. I view vegetables all different, so you need to look at, okay, I'm going to eat tomatoes every day. I eat tomatoes, when my tomatoes and cucumbers are in season, I eat them every day, multiple times a day. I can them. I make different type of canning recipes with them. You can do chow-chow, you can do pickles. I'm doing all my tomato sauces and different things like that. Versus, okay, yeah, I love okra. I can eat pickled okra every day of my life, but there's a reality here. In order to get what I want, I'm going to have some serious rows, and I'm the only one that really likes a whole lot of okra. So it makes more sense for me to look at what I like, but also what my family likes and what grows well in your area. I know people here grow kiwi, but I'm going to be honest, that's not what I'm focusing on, because I'm going to try to really work with my berry patches this year. Because berries also grow very well here, and everybody here loves berries. We like kiwi too, but I have more of a foolproof, hopeful and foolproof plan with berries than I do, say, kiwi or a lemon tree. I don't live in Florida, okay? I mean, you know, so be realistic with where you are. What is your zone? What do you like? There's, you know, don't grow something if you don't like it. You're wasting your time. Now, in the next year or in 2 years, if you want to add some things and change it up, go for it. Pick 5 things. Like, for me, if I had to pick 5 things, I would, tomatoes. Come on. Tomatoes, cucumbers. I would trellis some beans. Peppers, some type of peppers. I like, squash is pretty good, or herbs. You need some herbs, some really cool herbs. Even if it's just 3 little herbs in pots. Make it easy, simple, stupid, foolproof. Okay, and then grow from there. Okay, whoa, it changed. Something about free ranging. Okay, free range. If you free range and you don't want to risk losing your hens, you've got one of 2 choices. Actually, maybe 3. Okay, you don't free range your chickens and you supplement them, or you have a big area where you can free range like I do, but it's fenced, and even with that you can have a hawk come in. But if you free range, like right now, I'm looking at right now in front of me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got about 12 hens out here and a duck that are free ranging all around me right in front of me with Mr. Peaches while I'm talking to you. I supervise them. You know, I'm out here, I'm watching, and even then something can happen. I get it, but it's less likely. So you've got to make choices. If you free range your chickens, you have to understand there's risk with, I would be worried about a rogue dog coming up on my property far worse than I would a hawk. So that is the risk that you take, guys, and you need to be aware of that. So I use fencing. I have 5-foot, it's called horse fencing. It's the 4x2, and I cannot remember the gauge. It does not rust. It's very hard to bend. We had to have some professionals come in this year and help us with this last run, and they're going to come in again from Sequatchie Valley and help us with the fencing, because it's an incredible job. They can do it. They've got all the equipment, so they can do it pretty easily. But for not having that, it's quite a feat. So we really take our time with our fencing, because we really want it to be built to last. Okay, built to last. How long is it good to keep your home canned goods? A year is technically the answer that they provide for you and that I'm going to pass to you. But if I told you that I, do I eat some maters that are from 2014? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what, I make sure that my seal was on right. That stuff wasn't sitting around with the, the rings on, and I made sure there wasn't a false seal, and it was sealed really tight, and everything looks good, it smells good. Might cook it a little extra longer, and you have to gauge that for yourself, okay? But you're asking the technical question, so I'm giving you the technical answer. What is it? It's the University of Georgia. Is that right? Some of you might know that. Their website's fantastic on safety. You really need to look at that, guys. I understand. Well, my papa, he'd can stuff that was 10 years, we'd eat it 10 years later. Well, that's fine and dandy. And, people were tougher, I don't know. But that doesn't mean there wasn't risk. And in this day and age, we do know more about food safety, in my personal opinion. So you can do what you want, but at the same time, we have a lot of things available to us to make us safer, or we know more about subjects. So, always practice safety in that area, guys. Okay, I have not raised potbelly pigs. Don't tempt me. I don't need any more temptation. I was asked about final one. If you could only do one for the time being, which is more important, milk production or raising meat? Oh, milk. I could be a vegetarian. I couldn't be a vegan. I could be a vegetarian. And I could absolutely go without meat products. I like meat products. I like sausage and bacon. So, and I think having some of that in my diet is good, obviously watching for that. But I will tell you that if I can milk my cow, I get some of the most incredible healing properties from her raw milk for me, because I have all these issues, and it builds my immune system. Honey, I'm gonna tell you what, you get on that raw milk, your hair and your nails, it will freak you out. It is fantastic. And I feel so good, and it's just like my tummy is so healed. But I can make cheese, I can make yogurt, I can make kefir, oh, Mr. Peaches. I can then take the byproduct or the whey, I can make bread, stop it. I can feed it back to my chickens, because I do. And they love it, and they do fantastic on it. So there's a lot of killer byproducts from that. Now, obviously, with raising certain meat animals, you can get your lard and your tallow and different things like that. So, there's a give and take there. But if you ask me if I had to pick one or the other for a time being, I'm going with my dairy animal. Oh, definitely. Okay. I think I answered most. Oh, breed. I have, not this past year, but the previous 2 years, I bred Miss Belle 60 days. I got her into breed. You want to get her at the 60-day mark after she has her calf. So that's what you're looking at in terms of breeding her. I think I hit most of the main questions here. I hope they helped you out. Plus, I'm trying to keep the video within a time frame so it will load. So we're going to keep you posted on everything. Schedule's coming out for the conference. It's in 3 weeks. We're so excited. So much going on, guys. We hope you have a great weekend, and we're going to get cleaned up. I'm going to go in and clean up the dishes, and the boys are going to do all this out here for me tonight, so that's good. So it's beautiful weather. Thank goodness spring is here. So check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. I hope I answered all of your questions, or at least most of them. And we have more videos coming your way, because there's so many projects that are coming up. A lot. Y'all take care out there. Tell everybody good night. Tell everybody good night. Say what you were filming. This is what I was doing. Well, except when you stuck your tail over, your rear end over at us. Oh, Mr. Peaches. Oh, you're so feisty.